Growing up, my mother was an educator, which meant that she talked and she talked and she talked to me for what seemed like all the time. I mean, she would tell me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and who to do it with, literally. She has had the answer for everything all of the time. And when I think about my mother, this quote immediately comes to mind. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I know that through her many lectures, she was simply preparing me for life. While during my adolescence, early adulthood, and even sometimes now, it might seem to her like I wasn't really listening. I have, in fact, heard every word she said. Every word. Now, my actions may have had her believing otherwise, but I did, if even just for a brief moment, take into consideration all of the knowledge that she was trying to impart to me. And admittedly, during my lifetime, I have seen her sage advice and insights come to pass. And I've remembered what she said. And I believe wholeheartedly that she prepared me to the best of her ability for motherhood through both her actions and her words, especially as it concerns my own darling little girl. Her concerns for my sister and I as we were growing up have now become my concerns for my own daughter. And I operate with my daughter pretty much as I remember my mother operating with me. You see, my mother is a very strong black woman that comes from a long line of strong black women that has raised a strong black woman who is aiming to raise the next generation. And all the time that we have spent in discourse about life, from education to faith to vocation, finances, friends, romantic relationships, sex, or whatever the topic may be, I've tried to at least apply that advice to my life and to that of my daughter, but definitely with a little twist, as I've had to put a bit of my own stank on the situation as well. Now, in all that my mother taught me, however, there was one thing that she did not prepare me for. And it was one thing that she could not prepare me for. And not because she didn't want to, but it was more so because she could not. Now, keep in mind, my mother is a very well-learned woman, but there's one thing that I've had to experience that she never did. So I could not immediately seek her solace or her input, and that's simply how to be a mother to a darling little black boy who will, Lord willing, one day grow up to be a black man. Public enemy number one in this post-racial America that we live in today. Now, I've got to be honest with you. In the age of Laquan McDonald, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, John Crawford, Michael Brown, Ezell Ford, Akai Gurley, Walter Scott, Freddie Gray, Oscar Grant, Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo, and so many more. I am constantly worried about my son. While she prepared me for so much, my mother just did not prepare me for this. I'm honestly a bit paranoid for his future safety. And while he is the most darling and cute, unassuming 5-year-old you'll ever meet, he's one day going to grow up, get older, voice deeper, taller, weigh more, and more than likely be seen as a threat in someone's eyes, no matter how polite, respectful, chivalrous, or law-abiding that he is raised to be or that he ultimately becomes. What's sad to me is that almost every week now, somewhere in this country, I see a mother burying her son. No mother should have to go through this, and I shudder to think that one day that reality may hit close to my home. How do I protect him? How do I teach him to always stand up for what's right and to stand up for himself as well? How do I teach him to have a healthy relationship with those that are sworn to serve and protect everyone, even if they find him to be a threat when he's innocent and unarmed? How do I teach him to maintain a level head when he may be enraged or feel as though he's been unjustly mistreated? How do I teach him not to be vengeful or not to try to take matters into his own hands? The weight of these thoughts and questions are my own burden as a mother. And I imagine it's the same weight that mothers of little brown boys and adolescent brown boys and grown black men nationwide carry. You know, sometimes it really does get heavy. And I literally just sit and I cry for my son, for other mothers' sons. And it's at times like these, with these thoughts running through my head, that I need you, Ma. And I'm asking you, Mama, right now, like, how do I protect my baby? And what do I do now? Thank you.